Okay, so welcome everybody. Today's session is going to be on ScreencastOMatic. But first, later on. So I just wanted to give you a little heads up before getting started. Here's some helpful information for you about after the session resources and next steps. So after this session, after I actually go through the presentation part, please stick around to ask questions and practice using ScreencastOMatic with the IDs. We can set up breakout rooms. So if you want to meet with people, if you want to go ahead and interact, just ask questions, sit at your computer, and we'll sit here and you can ask questions as you go. Or if after the session you would like to just leave, you can feel free to do so as well. But we wanted to give you an opportunity, since this is a little bit more robust and a little bit more advanced for some people, we wanted to give you an opportunity to have kind of a Q&A afterwards session. Second thing for you to be aware about is that this recording, and that would be really helpful to make sure it is recording. This recording is going to be made available via email and on the CODL website under resources, workshop archives, as well as on the CODL website under our digital tools section. The ScreencastOMatic page is available. So there's already a page there with a previous webinar and some content and some information. This has got a little bit more content today. Each time we do a workshop, it's going to be a little bit different. But at any time you want to reference this, it is in a variety of places, either the full archive or it'll be broken up into sections on the page for ScreencastOMatic, also with some instructional advice and tips and text-based instructions. And lastly is that, as always, if you have any questions about this tool afterwards, please feel free to reach out to any instructional designer or email digitallearning@stick.edu. And so we'll address any questions, answer anything that we can. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is come back to the screen and do a basic overview of ScreencastOMatic for you. What does it actually do? So what is ScreencastOMatic? So verbatim, it's a software that lets you record multimedia presentations using your personal computer. You will be able to sign up for an account. Everyone at STIC has one. All the faculty have access to having an account that gives them additional features. And you will sign, there is a launcher application that you need to download onto your computer. And then from your computer, you can record a variety of presentations. And you may ask, what can I actually record, or what kind of things do I record using ScreencastOMatic? A lot of faculty are doing their speaker presentations. So if they're having a guest speaker come in, they're having someone do that. And then they put that into their class. Course tours, you're going to be able to do a tour of the screen of your class and walk through the class. You can do software tutorials to explain how to use a particular software if you learning a software is part of the curriculum of the class. You're going to be able to do website tours. If you're sending a student out to a website and you want them to be able to navigate it and give them a primer video, you'll be able to do that as well. You're also going to be able to do training materials. If you're explaining anything or any type of setup, you can do that as well, as also video instructions. So if you're wanting students to do something around creating their own videos, you'll be able to use ScreencastOMatic to do that as well. And the last thing that gets most frequently used for is to record your lectures. So there's a variety of different things that what people are using ScreencastOMatic for, what kind of presentations are created with it. So what are the tools and features of ScreencastOMatic are that when you have ScreencastOMatic downloaded onto your computer, you will be able to capture screenshots of the pages, presentations, or anything that is on your desktop. You're also going to be able to use the recorder feature, which is what you record your video content on. So you're going to be able to record screenshots. You're going to be able to record videos of your desktop, of a website, of a web link, and then also you'll be able to record yourself just as a kind of a talking head, and then choose between various pieces of that. Maybe you want a video that's going to allow you to have your screen and then your picture at the bottom, or just you, or just your screen. So you're going to have a variety of different options, and the recorder feature will let you do any of those things. Then you're going to have, because we have the STIC accounts available to you, you have a video editor with all of the robust tools of the paid account. So usually you'll have a video editor and it'll let you make some minor adjustments, cut the beginning and ends of video off to get rid of dead air or any errors that you make when you're setting your recording up. But the video editor feature here in the stick account, this one's going to go ahead and give you a little bit more robust features where you can play with different screen options, you can remove video from certain sections, you can change the view of the screen depending on what you shared. You can do different things, you can mouse in. So there's some crazy stuff that you could do with the video editor, but most people are kind of doing the solid just recorder, but letting you know that part of this paid account is going to give you some really kind of robust functions and features. And so what I also want to say is that I'm going to cover some of that, but not all of it. We'll do more of an advanced section in the future, but we want to kind of introduce people to ScreencastOMatic. And to get started, if you're just wanting to record lectures, this session is going to be for you. So the features that are available is that there is the opportunity for content manager. That means that you can store your videos into ScreencastOMatic. You're going to be able to have them in there if you so desire, and you're going to have your own personal library, so you can organize and put all your videos up there. Then you're going to have the option of media sharing, which allows you to take from your content and personal library and share those videos out into Blackboard, into an email, any place that you wish to do so. You will also have the ability to turn on what is called secure backup. Secure backup allows you to securely back it up to ScreencastOMatic, but download it to your desktop to then transfer to other media platforms. And most commonly, people will put it onto their Stick YouTube account or in another YouTube account, or they'll be able to put it into any other paid account, such as Vimeo or anything else like that. Additionally, you can put your video content into your Google Drive and share out a link with that. That just affords the need to use the web browser on a computer to do that. So you get a bunch of features by having the paid account, and I think one of the most important ones is the backup. Worst thing, and I think Marion can attest to this, is there was a worry in the very beginning that when you downloaded your recording, you lost the recording in ScreencastOMatic, and so if you lost or damaged that recording in any way, you would have lost the recording. But this secure backup feature allows you to have it there and still download it over and over. So those are going to be some of the tools and features of ScreencastOMatic. I do want to take just a couple minutes to just kind of talking about the thinking stage and things to do ahead of time to prepare when you're getting ready to use ScreencastOMatic. Now, first thing is going to be that I'll briefly go over how to create your account and who you're going to contact for that, but then also making sure that you can log in properly and you don't have any issues with that. You also might want ahead of time set up your Stick YouTube account or any other paid account that you would wish to use. If you don't want to use your ScreencastOMatic account or use your YouTube channel, you'll be able to use other resources. So you want to set up whatever you're going to put your video content in. Now, the reason I keep saying you're going to want to have either in ScreencastOMatic or have it on a YouTube channel or another type of account, depending on how you would like to, is that you will not be able to upload into Blackboard. One of the agreements that we have in is that we have, and I'm going to go ahead.
Kyle, you seem to be muted.
I just unmuted. I can't hear anything. Did you guys hear anything?
Oh, sorry. I'll fix that. I was trying to mute the person on the phone.
Oh, perfect.
Like
I just want to make sure it wasn't me. Sorry.
No problem. So the reason that you want to not upload to Blackboard is we don't have storage space in Blackboard to handle video content. Also, Blackboard is not a media streaming service. So that means that if you put content into Blackboard, it's going to rely on the user's interface and their operating system of their computer or mobile device, depending on if they have an older computer, an older mobile phone, or as we advance through operating systems, every time one of these things updates, it's going to be a new part of their operating system. Blackboard is not capable of making those adjustments as YouTube or Vimeo or any paid video storage site. So A, we don't have storage. B, it's actually not best practice to put anything into Blackboard because a media server is going to see the video, see the person's device and say, make this the best possible playback for a phone, for a computer. So that's also why you always want to put your stuff up onto video servers. You also will want to expand your YouTube quota. And we actually have on our STIC website, we have a section there that actually goes over how to set up your YouTube account, and then also how you are going to want to expand your quota. The basic quota is going to be, I do not have headphones right now, so I'm sorry. I can just keep trying to talk louder. 1 second. Pause. Hopefully that makes that a little bit better. You will want to expand your YouTube quota because you are given an initial account 15-minute limit, and you have to go ahead and request whether it's your personal or your STIC YouTube account. It's a across the board blanket request that you have to do to expand past 15 minutes. We normally encourage people to remember, stay within your 15 minutes, but if you are putting up lecture recordings, from a class session or any type of optional tutorial session, those often do go past the 15 minutes. What you want to do also is make sure that your web camera and microphone are working properly. Make sure that you have a webcam and that you have a microphone and that it is working properly. In a second, I'll take a break and I'll try to actually improve my video setup here for you all today. If you don't, you might want to wish or purchase headphones to help isolate sound that is available. And our last thing, usually thinking ahead, is going to be how to create an outline or script or storyboard. So you don't want to always just go into ScreencastOMatic with a lecture necessarily straight on. You might want to think about what you need to say, what are your salient points, so that you find yourself not rambling, find yourself that you're not saying a lot of ums a lot. You want to just kind of be prepared, and that would be through creating an outline, a script, or a storyboard. Many of the videos that are on the CODL website that are tutorial videos, those often are presented to you in that kind of format. All right, so last slide before I'm going to pause. Let's see here. And I'm going to go ahead and pause just 1 second. Okay, so before we get started, you will need to get your ScreencastOMatic account kind of verified. If you don't already have one, you are going to need to write to the account manager for ScreencastOMatic here at STIC. The email I'm going to provide in the chat for this session, and it's also listed on the CODL's ScreencastOMatic page. That spelling. So let me go ahead. I
got it, Kyle.
Okay. So Dan O'Neill is going to be the individual who sets up the accounts for us. I do not put it on the screen for the presentation because he may not always be that person, and these videos do go out onto the website, but Dan O'Neill is the person who you will write to. You can always just start typing his name in the composition of any Gmail, and he should show up. He is a staff member here and does work with faculty in the health sciences. So he would be able to set your account up. The other thing about Dan O'Neill is our account manager. He is not technical support. If you run into any problems using ScreencastOMatic, you can either contact ScreencastOMatic yourself or write to one of the instructional designers, and we would be able to help and work out with you any issues that you might have, kind of talk through something. The reason why is he is really just the individual who makes sure you have an account. So you're going to want to contact him and just let him know. I also let him know that we're having this session today. So if he gets a lot of emails today, that is why he is getting them. So he's getting maybe bombarded today with that. The last thing that I do want to give you a heads up is when you get your account, he's going to give you instructions on how to log in. One of the pieces of advice that I have been asked to share is to not use that cheat button that says Google login with Google account. What you're going to want to do once he has given you the account, you're going to want to use the login feature that lets you type in your username and go from there. And that will actually click in the activation for your account. There's a little switch up that if you use that, you won't get the paid account with all the extra features to it. So just want to go ahead and say that. Additionally, if you have ever attended a workshop in the previous years before the CODL started in 2018, ScreencastOMatic was talked about before, and some people have pre-created accounts many years ago. Those will always be the free account. You may have to write to Dan if you find that you're not seeing the features that we talk about today, and if you feel like you're limited in your account. So I'm going to pause for a second, because now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and actually walk in and take a look at ScreencastOMatic. But I'm going to pause for a second to see if I can just go ahead and correct any of the audio issues that I might be having. Pause. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen now, and we're going to actually walk through ScreencastOMatic right here. And do that. So you should all be seeing my screen that says ScreencastOMatic. This is going to be https://screencastomatic.com. You can also Google search ScreencastOMatic, and this will take you to their website. Now, once you have signed in and you already have an automatic account, you will not have to worry. Do not worry about the sign up. It's free. You will just come to the login button. When I click on the login button, it's going to ask me for my email address, and I'm just going to go ahead and type in, weird habit, and I'm just going to go ahead and type in and hit continue. I automatically have a password generator. It's going to go ahead and put my password in. Otherwise, you can type your password in, and you're going to go ahead and click in log in. You're initially going to be taken to the a main content area, and you're going to have two views possible. So just to let you know, ScreencastOMatic is going and is actually doing a refresh of their interface. So you may come to a ScreencastOMatic that will look like this. And this one has your recorder, your video editor, and anything that you need to download and install to get started. You also may have the option to use the beta view, which is the new view, which will have all of those features as well, but you're going to have your buttons to do your screenshots, your recorder, and your editor up at the top. Now, while the original view is available, I am going to recommend to you that you switch to the beta view, only because at some point that's going to be the main new view anyways. But it's going to be up to you, but the features are going to be the exact same. So you're either going to click Start Recorder here, Open Video Recorder, or Download, Install, or in the new version, you can go ahead and click on Capture Screenshot. You can launch Recorder and Open Video Editor. Now you're going to see your initials on the original view, and when you click on your initials, this is going to tell you information about your settings and your account. The reason I'm bringing this in is going to be that you want to look for the word that says team member. Highlighted it. That's letting you know that you're using your stick account. If you are not using your stick account, it should say free member, and you don't want to see free member. You want to see team member, and that's when you can write to Dan O'Neill and just give him a heads up. I'm seeing free, I'm not seeing team. Is there anything I need to do? Also, go back to original view. Your account is also going to have that same functionality here where it says KS Kraus stick. And if I click on update profile, you should get a window. Oh, it's not telling me there. You should, maybe it's under billing. I haven't used this in a long time. So this is also giving me additional information here. So I'm going to go ahead and get out of this window. So it should tell you your subscription under the billing tab there. Okay. So we're going to start out with ScreencastOMatic. We're going to be on the new beta view. And what I want to do is just give you a quick interface overview. You're going to come to the content page, and you're going to see things that say videos, images, folders, channels, and trash. So this is basically like the same thing in Blackboard. You're going to have a menu and it's going to let you access various things. It's going to tell you, because you can do screenshots and you can do videos, it's going to break up what is your video content versus what is your images content. So if I've made a screencast, a screenshot, it's going to appear there. So this is everything that I've done. But if I want to, sorry, my voice is starting to crack. If I want to organize things where I have folders and I can put things into different folders, I can also start to create folders. And if I click on folder here, you're going to see that I have a training folder that I've created, and that this is all the content that is located in my training folder. I can also make a new folder up at any time. So if you want to have it by topic or theme or by class, you can organize your videos so that you'll be able to do that. The benefit of being able to do that is that I'm going to be able to share this with other users. I can share my video content with other people, and I can also change the name of the folder as well. But if I want to go ahead and search for other people, if I wanted to share this with Mary, who has an account here, I can go ahead and share that with her and it would be available. So that's going to be your folder section. And then you're going to have a thing called channels. Now, to create channels, this is just basically that you're going to create a channel that's somewhat like a YouTube channel where you want to do things where you share your content out with a group of people, and you're going to have a playlist or a group of videos that are out there. You share that entire thing. So the folder section and sharing there, that's going to be more like sharing to individual users so that you can kind of share videos and content. The channel section is going to be more like a YouTube playlist where you can put different videos and organize your videos to then share an entire channel with people. So that's just to let you know, these are automatically available to you, that you can use it. Additionally, if you make any videos and you throw them out, you'll have them here in the trash. And I believe that it says that content will be available here for about 30 days. And then after 30 days, it's going to be permanently deleted. So if you change your mind and want to retrieve it, remember, you only have 30 days to do so. Okay. Now I've shown you the content menu, and we're going to go ahead and go over towards the upper right quadrant of the page, and you're going to see those three blue icons, or three icons. The first icon is going to be an icon of a camera, and it's going to be the capture screenshot functionality. So if you want to use the tool that lets you capture a screenshot, you can go ahead and do that. The second one is going to be the launch recorder. This is the one that's going to let you launch the recorder to do video. And then the editor is going to be the feature that lets you edit that video at any time afterwards. You're going to be able to. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the capture screenshot button. This one is going to allow me, it's going to ask me, do I want to open the screen recorder launcher? The very first time that you do that, you can go ahead and say yes and open the launcher, and it will probably need to download for a few seconds a little connector that connects your account with your computer. It is safe. They have verified that through IT, so it's okay. Nothing malicious can happen to your computer accepting that download. And it'll say launching, and it says okay if prompted. Now, after you've done this once, if you'd like to, you can always check on this button that says always allow ScreencastOMatic to open links to this type of thing. So anytime I click on the launcher, it just will open the launcher. It won't give me this little "are you sure" button. I don't check it because I do this workshop. So every time I come in here, I have to allow the launcher, but you don't have to. I just do the trainings on it, so I just leave it unchecked. I'm going to go ahead and click on the launcher. When I do that, it's either going to prompt me to download, or if I have to do any type of update, and it's going to go ahead and say it's launching. When it is ready, it's going to go ahead and say launched, and then it's going to tell me that the recorder is going to appear in a few moments. It's going to give me, and this is where I'm going to do a little pause of my screen for just 1 second. I want to share something different with you because it doesn't show up. I want to show you my whole screen just for one moment. In the upper right-hand side of my screen, I get a window here that says, are you ready to take a screenshot? you can access the screenshot tool from the ScreencastOMatic menu bar tool. And then I just have to click ready. So when I go ahead and click on ready, it's going to give me it's going to give me a little arrow, and it's going to ask me what do I want to, and anything that I select is going to let me take a screenshot of it. So it says I can just click on this to capture the whole window, but if I only want to have the word trash, I can go ahead and just use my cursor on my mouse and select what I want to keep. So I can go ahead and do that. When I do that, my screen on my screen on the upper right-hand side says screenshot copied, and it's going to say I can do Control V to paste it anywhere I want to, or it's going to be available. So I go ahead and I think, did I wait too long to actually capture it? Did it do that? Yes, I did. So hold on one second. I'll do it again. I'm going to take a screenshot. I want to actually take a screenshot of my images here. I click on that and it says okay. And I can have the option to edit, to file it, or to share it. I'm going to go ahead and click on share it. And then now I'm going to switch this over and I'm going to share my window, a different window. I'm going to get the screenshot editor. And the screenshot editor gives me my screenshot, and I can just use this image as it is, or on the right-hand side, I am going to get a menu of different things that I can do. I can change the image size of my screenshot. I can crop, arrow, shape, highlight, blur, do any text to that. Now, because we're going to focus on video today, I'm not going to go terribly much into this, but this would just be, if I had an arrow, I could go ahead and have an arrow here, and then it's just going to let me put an arrow on there. And I can play around and move that arrow and do different things. I can rotate it, change it up, do a whole bunch of different things depending on the menu that I chose. So I can keep rotating it. I can layer it and put it to the back, put it to the side. I can also change its opacity, bunch of crazy stuff. So that's what the screenshot editor is going to allow me to do. So you can also store all your screenshots in one location in ScreencastOMatic. So it's kind of a cool feature, and I do like to just cover it for a couple minutes just so you see it and you know it. I haven't done this myself at all, but the other reason that I show this to you is that I did watch a video where someone actually incorporated screenshots into their videos. So they actually were able to kind of merge and play with this and organize that. If that's something that you feel tech savvy enough to do down the road, you'll be able to do that. And in that advanced session that we'll have one day, we can actually play around and do that as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just say done. And I'm going to go ahead and leave my sharing. And then I'm going to come back to my window that I want to share. Stop sharing. I'm going to share with you my ScreencastOMatic window again. And again, sorry, it's a little awkward to share because there's all these windows that show up. When you're going to be doing this on your computer, you're not going to have all these windows that kind of show up that you'll have to worry about jumping to. It's just because we're doing this webinar. So I'm going to be able to have my screenshot available shortly. And then if I click on images, I always get confused on where my content is. It's going to, the screenshot will show up. I want to go over, so that's how to do a screenshot. And when you save it, you're going to be okay. And you click on done. Then you're going to go ahead and click on the launcher if you want to make videos. Now, the video feature is going to be very much the same. What will happen here is that, and let's see if it'll let me drag this over here. What's going to happen is that when you get the launcher for the window, and let me go ahead and open up anything else. So hopefully you're all seeing the STCC ScreencastOMatic website on our website. But what you're seeing also is a dotted line that is circling around the screen that I'm going to be recording. Now, I'm always going to get this little screen, and it's going to, at the corners, allow me to adjust the size of the screen in any way that I want to do so. It also will just let me do an automatic size. So I'm going to be able to manipulate the size of my window. But at the bottom of this window that you're going to be able to manipulate, you're going to get a little menu bar, and it's going to say record,
it's going to give you a little settings button. It's going to give you a little pencil for editing and then a cancel button. So if you don't want to record and you've changed your mind. When you click the settings button, it usually the first time automatically shows up. You can always hit it a second time and it shows up and it gives you your menu. The menu is going to let you determine what you're going to capture on the screen. You can, as I said before, you can do your screen, your webcam, or you can do both. So if I want to do my screen right now, I'm selecting what I want to do. I want to say how much is my max time. Because this is a paid account, I have no max time. But if I'm trying to keep my videos to 15 minutes, I can also give myself a timer that says I'm going to get cut off at 15. Really kind of up to you. But if you're trying to stay into that realm of I want to make short videos, I want to be held to something that I make sure I don't run out of time, you can adjust this however you want. I'm going to go ahead and say no max time for me. And then I have my size here. Now, if you're trying to do something where you're trying to do like a traditional video that you
Excuse
put
me,
up.
Kyle. We're
Yep.
seeing Screencast-O-Matic on the CODL website. We're not seeing what you're referring to.
Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. Let me do that. There you go.
There
So
you go.
Thank you. Okay. I thought I'd hit that button. Sorry, everyone. Okay, so this is the website that I want to be on. I'm then going to have this bar here that I can move around by just clicking on the dotted line. And I can move it around as I want, and I can grab as much of the screen as I want to do that. But here's what I was saying. So you have this perpendicular, you have the bar there with the little dotted lines. And at the bottom, you're going to see a menu here. And on the menu, you're going to have the record button, the gearbox button, and you're going to have an edit button or a little pencil button, which I'm sorry, this is the draw button on this one. This is the draw and zoom in button. And then you can also just cancel the recording altogether. When you get this record menu, you're going to have the option. So this is what I was saying, screen, webcam, or both. And when you click on the screen option is going to ask for your maximum time. It's going to ask for the size of the video that you want. So you can make it the size that you want here, or you can select universal standards that are going to allow you to have bigger view and a bigger window. And this just kind of guarantees that wherever you're hosting this on a site, it's going to probably be the best kind of playback. So that's why people usually stick with the 480, 720, or full screen, all these options, but you can adjust this however you want. Additionally, then you can see here your narration is going to tell you how your mic is working, if it's picking up your sound here, and it'll also say, make sure green bars flash when you talk. If you talk too loud, it's going to go into the red. It's going to also tell you that feedback that you do is going to, and sorry that I did that, but I was just trying to show it on the screen. It's uncomfortable to hear that consistently. It probably means you're too close to the mic, you're speaking too loud, or you're pitchy. And so you just want to kind of either back up a little, adjust your mic, your setting, that kind of thing as well. Additionally, if you have other mics that you want to record from, you can go ahead and do that as well, or set up an additional exterior mic setup. You can do that too. You also have the option to record your computer audio. And this means that, say you need the clicks and the bells of the computer to show through, or if you're trying to record something you've created, like a tutorial, you're doing a screenshot of, you're doing a video of your class and you're doing a tour, and you want to explain to students how to access the YouTube videos, and you click on it so that you start to hear and see playback, that's why you'd want to have your computer audio on. It is going to pick up everything. It's going to pick up clicks and bings. And if you have notifications coming through, it's going to pick those up as well. So you want to just be careful about that. I usually don't do any type of recording where I need the bings and everything to be showing up. But if you did want to do something where you're recording onto a screen, please be aware it is a copyright violation to go to a channel where you have a video and play the video and record it through one of these kind of thing. So that's not actually an act of fair use. So you want to just be really careful that you're recording things that you own, or you're giving quick tutorials of stuff, or content that you that isn't copyrighted and it has fair use to use. That's if you want to record your screen just alone. If you want to record your webcam, and I just want to record my webcam and see my lovely background, which I would fix in the future, I can just do that as well. And this would be if I was doing some kind of talking head presentation. Again, I have that same set of features that are available. And I also have my a preference window that shows up on the screen that's going to ask me what I want to do, changing my webcam features. Most people don't need to change that up, so you don't have to worry about that. Then the last thing that you can do is have the both feature. The both feature is going to have myself in the screen and then also have me to the bottom of the page. I do have the ability, depending on where I have put my icons, where I have anything, I can change where my webcam is going to be situated on my recording. If you find that you make your recordings and you have a bunch of stuff at the bottom of the page, ScreencastOMatic will allow you to move this window up, down, anywhere that you want it to be. Additionally, you can click on the icon again for your webcam options again, and you can also change any webcams if you have different or multiple webcams. So if I wanted to use not my webcam, but the one that's on my computer, I could change this as well. So that's going to give you all the options of how you can record. So I'm going to go ahead and come back into here. I'm going to come back into my settings window. I have myself being recorded on the upper right-hand side. I have this part of the window being shown, and I'm going to go ahead. I've set my settings to what I want it to be. I can also make adjustments, make this smaller. It's still going to keep me in the upper right-hand side of the screen. And I'm going to go ahead and just click on the record button. When I click on the record button, I'm always going to get a 3 countdown and a go. That's just letting me prepare, situate. It's really fast, so just be prepared. Now, right now, that window that has the functionality is going to say it's starting to count. It's telling me that it's picking up my mic by the little tiny microphone button. It's also then going to give me a slash to let me know I'm not recording my computer audio. And then just to let you know, another option, this little pencil is going to allow me, it takes my video camera off, but it's going to allow me to use a bunch of functions so that I can write on my video as I'm recording. So if I want to change anything, it does allow me to write on a live recording of anything that I'm doing, and I can change all my functions. I can do lines and arrows and over. I can highlight. I can just do a whole bunch of different things. So say I want to highlight a section of the screen. So it's a really interesting feature. What you want to also do, just to be aware in terms of accessibility, if you do any type of writing on screens, doing this kind of thing, you might want to, you should really say, I'm highlighting the section of the screen that says X, Y, and Z. Because if someone is using any type of audio or transcription piece to it, they're going to want to hear that you're doing some type of thing on the screen, highlighting or anything like that as well. So you want to kind of get into the kind of the habit of that. Additionally, if you don't want to capture your cursor, you want to hide it while you're recording, you can do that as well. And if you want to go ahead and change the lines of anything that you are writing on the screen, you can go ahead and do that. So if I want my line to be really thick and bold, I can go ahead and do that, and it's going to make it thicker and bold. So that's what the pencil feature does. And so if you want to do that, you can go ahead and do that. You will have some options to also do some of that after the effect. But if you're doing some type of math tutorial, equations, something where you want to and you need to kind of write on the screen while you're covering something, you can do that as well. I've gone ahead and done this for 2 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and stop. I'm going to, if I want to close the pencil button, I just have to hit the pencil button again. And then again, I come to this part where I'm being recorded and you see me on the screen. I can go ahead and there's a blue button. The record button has turned into a pause button. The pause button is going to say I can pause and continue. Say like just right now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to take a sip of water. I just need to pause. I'm losing my way. The worst thing that happens is you're in 12 minutes and all of a sudden you realize you're starting to fade. You want to pause just for a second to collect yourself. ScreencastOMatic lets you do that. And then once you hit the pause button, you get the recording button, and then you're going to be able to continue where you left off. Just remember that this is a digital recording. So if you ended on a sentence and you said blah, it's going to immediately pick it up after a 3 count. So you'll have a little bit of a break and then it'll go right back into whatever you wanted to talk about. You can also shift and change the screen if you need to at any way. And some of that's a little bit of playing with stuff. Then you're going to go ahead and it has the countdown. You could actually preview what you've recorded so far. You can go backwards and forwards, so, see where you last paused. And then you can also fast forward into it. So that's an option as well. And then also you can turn the draw zoom on again. So say you wanted to pause and actually draw now, you could go ahead and do that. And then when you start recording, your drawing is already set on the screen for the students. If you don't like your recording at all, you can always go ahead and delete everything and start back over. But I'm going to be done and I'm going to go ahead and click on done. When I'm done, it's going to ask me, am I okay and I'm all good and I want to just save this and upload this? Do I want to just quickly share this video? I'm doing just a quick thing to my students or a quick thing to a fellow colleague and I just want to send it. I want to get a link and take it off. I can go ahead and do that. Or do I want to edit this video? Now, for the purpose of just showing you the video editor, I'm going to click on the video editor and I'll go ahead and click on edit video. The video editor is going to, and I'm going to try to, I know that the screen that I'm on is really big. So I'm going to actually just try to share this time. This is just the video editor. Okay. So the video editor is giving me my entire recording. And it is going to show me my main video and then my webcam. And again, just like anywhere in most software, you're going to have a series of menus and different options that are available to you. So I can go ahead and start just playback.
Always going to get a 3 countdown and a go. That's just letting you prepare, situate. It's really fast.
So I can go ahead and listen to my video and it's going to, and I'm going to see if I can I manually do something? I want to do this instead. I'm actually going to extend this out a little because this menu is not showing up for you. Okay. So, so just to let you know, you're going to have here where you have your recording. So you have your main video, your webcam, the menu of different features, but you're also going to have your timeline of your video. And you're going to have options like creating a new segment, inserting a new video, doing a lot of kind of robust stuff. That's kind of advanced for a lot of people. So I usually just tell people this is kind of the straight on piece to it. The thing I do want to show you is that you do have this tools feature here. And when you click on the tools feature, you're going to get a menu here and it's going to let you cut, copy, hide, insert. So you're going to be able to hide the cursor, hide your webcam. You can hide your webcam at different points, at different sections. Say you're doing a presentation, you want to go away. You can bring your, you can kind of select different sections of the screen. You're going to be able to insert a new recording, an existing recording from your gallery. You can insert that video that I said, you can have a video from someplace else. You can do a whole bunch of different things with it. Additionally, if you want to correct, you can overcorrect and re-narrate something. You're going to be able to blur something. So say, for example, you're doing a video, there's student data there, but you want to show somebody how to do something. You're going to be able to blur out parts where maybe personal identifying information is shared. You're going to be able to insert an arrow right onto this section. And I can go ahead and say, I want this arrow to be available for the first 30 sections. I'm going to go ahead and just add my arrow in here. I can draw on the video and add into this. So it's kind of a really great feature. And for this next 30 seconds, I'm going to have an arrow there. And if you notice here, it's going to say that it starts here and I can manipulate any of this content as I'm going around. I can go ahead and click on this and edit it. I can go ahead and on my main video, I'm going to get information about, do I want to resize it? Do I want to change anything? When I say, okay. I can also click on my webcam tab, and on my webcam tab, I can change or crop my video. I can do a bunch of things. So it's kind of it could get crazy if you want to get crazy. But if you just want to do a straight record, you can just go ahead at that window, you can just go ahead and hit the share button and share it out or upload it to YouTube and do that. But if you want to use this video editor, it's also there as well. So this is going to be available to you. And say, I just wanted to look at my video. I'm all good. I'm fine with it. You can go ahead and now go ahead and say you're done and you can save it. Now, two last things before I leave the editor. The top of the page, you're going to see something that says edit recording name. I can click into this and I can say screencast O-Matic webinar, and I'm going to say that it's on 01/07/21. I'm going to give it a name just so that when I'm in my own personal account, I can identify what video, what webinar this was and what date I did it. I also have the ability to change my canvas at this time. I can take off the narration of the audio. So if you do that, it says found silence and narration. I can make adjustments to that. There's an add music feature to this with a very large library that's available. I'd strongly encourage you not to add music to the background of your video. It's very distracting, especially for educational media. And if you have students who do have kind of auditory issues, it does actually cause a big distraction. So I am going to say that it's available, but you want to be just very careful while you're ever using music. And it usually shouldn't be during times when you're talking and putting things over. And so again, added features you want to play with later on in the long run. Say you don't want to have your cursor, you can always end up taking your cursor off. You can also always just get rid of your webcam at any time. And then you do have the ability to do text to speech, captions, blank captions, or caption yourself. And so if you do this, it'll actually start by starting to actually run your video and then run the captioning through. And so you'll see here that it's starting to fill in my language of my videos. And then I can actually, once this is all done, come back and make adjustments and corrections to inaccurate things. I've always used the example that I once was talking to somebody, and I have a phrase that I say as fast as you can, and it came out as Afghanistan over and over again on my videos. So those are the kind of things that you want to correct when you're doing it. And then it's going to go ahead and just keep doing this as well. And then I would just wait for it to go. And so here it's going to play me that section of video, and then I could go back in and edit it later on. I'm going to go ahead and cancel out of that. And then I want to just cancel the captions. When I'm all done, if I don't want to do any editing, remember, I can just bypass this page and share it, or I can just look at this page, don't do anything. I can always go ahead and click on done. When I do that, I'm going to be given my window. My editing is off. I'm going to come to a window. It's got my title. It's going to let me play this here. And then I'm going to have those options that again, do I just want to save this as a video file on my computer? Do I want to upload this to ScreencastOMatic and share it there? Or do I want to go ahead and upload this to YouTube? And so from that point on, that's where you're going to make the decision about where you want it to be. So I can always go ahead and upload this to ScreencastOMatic, and then I can send it to YouTube later on. I can also add more publishing options if you wanted to say, send it to Vimeo, which is another service that is a paid service, Dropbox or Google Drive, that kind of thing as well. I've already set up my YouTube account to this. So if I have set up my YouTube account, I just have to click on YouTube account. It gives me my window that says, okay, you want to send it to YouTube. What do you want to do? I already set it up from the account that I have available. I have two accounts, one for the Center for Online and Digital Learning, and the other one is my personal. I can do ScreencastOMatic. I can add a description, any type of tags. I have to choose my privacy, and this is just really important, and why I'm going through this step is that when you choose your privacy, you want to know why you're choosing what you're choosing. Unlisted is going to allow the video to be put on YouTube, but not shared out with the internet. This is going to allow you to be able to insert this and embed this and share the link to your students in Blackboard or in emails. If you decide to do public, that becomes out to the world, out to the YouTubeverse, and everyone will be able to see your videos if they were looking for something on its topic or by your name or any type of search that they do. If you do choose private, and that's why private and unlisted get confused, private is just for you and no one but you will ever see this video. So if you're wanting to use this, you want to make sure that you keep it to unlisted, and that way you'll be able to insert this into Blackboard and share the link out and people will be able to view it. You don't have to choose a category, I just do because it's education. Do I want my cursor to be shown as I'm doing this? I do a lot of tutorials where I have pull down menus. I think that's really helpful, but I can always ask ScreencastOMatic to not give me my cursor and just take it off and just leave that as that is. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that on. And then if I had done, if I had captions, it will not take my captions over to YouTube. It will take my captions over to ScreencastOMatic. So if you want to have captioning and run them here, you can always send these to ScreencastOMatic and use ScreencastOMatic as where you're storing your videos. But if you send it to YouTube, YouTube can also auto run captioning, and then you just have to go through and review the captioning there and make corrections on YouTube instead of making any corrections on ScreencastOMatic. Depending on my quality of video, how much I want, do I want it to be a really crisp, clean video as best as I can? What will happen is I can select higher resolution or quality. That's not guaranteeing that it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful presentation. It might still be a little bit grainy depending on what you were sharing and how well your camera captures. But if, say, I have a really bad internet connection, I might want a faster download, so I would decrease the quality for it. That's also going to make your videos shorter or smaller in size, but it's going to also speed it up and put it up onto YouTube. Please be aware that the longer you make a video, the longer the video is going to take to load to YouTube. So if you did record 45 minutes, it is possible that your video, depending on your internet speed at the time and your connection, could take 45 minutes to upload if you have a very low, slow connection. If you have a good connection, usually videos can be anywhere from a minute or so to 5 minutes at most. And most of the time, that's exactly what mine have been. Even videos that I've done, I think 15 minutes has been my own longest from ScreencastOMatic when I'm doing a longer video into YouTube. So that's just to let you know. But your quality is based on how nice you want it to look, but that's going to make it slow down. Just also be aware that your own internet is usually the factor that is the thing slowing down or speeding up your upload to YouTube. When I'm all set, I'm going to go ahead and click on publish, and I'm going to get this window. It's going to let me, and this is kind of a cool feature, continue in the background. So I can go back to ScreencastOMatic and keep starting new things, but I can always just watch it go ahead and upload. Encoding and uploading. Encoding is the system saying we're preparing this video for all types of devices. So it's giving YouTube a bunch of data and information. So it has to do that first, and then it actually uploads the video itself into it. So when you see it say 100% encoding, and then it starts to say uploading, those are two pieces to what happens when you put content onto the internet. Once I do that, you'll see it goes kind of fast. This was only a 2-minute video. It's going to tell me that it's going to be done in a second. When it does that, it's going to say, do I want to just go ahead and leave and go back to ScreencastOMatic? Do I want to open my upload? And do I want to copy my link? I can go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and say, open my upload. When I do that, it's going to take me to my YouTube channel immediately. Now, YouTube has to process the video. So that's going to take a couple minutes. But what this is telling me is that I have a ScreencastOMatic video. It is unlisted, and I can now get the link here, and this is going to be the link to this video. But if I give it before the YouTube is finished processing it, it's not going to show, it's going to give them that. So again, ScreencastOMatic does its work, sends it to YouTube, and then YouTube does its work, and it's going to go ahead and make sure that your video is good. And I think if I probably hit return a couple times, it's still going to do it here. And so It's saying it doesn't recognize the video format, and that's mostly because it's still waiting. So I really wouldn't worry about that. What I want to do just really quickly is when you're on YouTube, and I'm going to go ahead. So I'm here at YouTube, youtube.com. I'm signed into my stick account. I'm going to come over to my icon. Usually it's your initials. Mine is actually my image. I can click on here. I want to come to my YouTube studio. So you have to set up your YouTube account on YouTube, your stick account on YouTube. You have to actually extend your timing, and then you're going to get this window that lets you go right into what's called your YouTube studio, which is just where all your videos are housed. And then you can go ahead and see all the videos that you've put up there. You can always come here and see your video. It's starting to play, and you're going to be able to change your thumbnail and what you show, how the actual, you'll see a lot of times that we have a picture of our presentation. We go ahead and upload an image of the PowerPoint as a JPEG. It's kind of a little complicated, but you can change your thumbnail at any point to what you want to show your students. You can hit that and change anything that. So this is just to let you know that's the back end of your video on YouTube, and you're going to be able to have access to it. Is it ready? And I believe it is.
Always gonna get a 3 countdown and a go.
So now my video is ready on YouTube. I'm not in ScreencastOMatic at the moment. I'm not doing anything. This is just YouTube, and my video is ready. When I want to share this video, I can either go ahead and copy it, and I will have the ability to embed it into Blackboard, and we can cover that if people are interested. But that is going to be basically the step-by-step of, and I'm going to just come right back to ScreencastOMatic of, when you get into ScreencastOMatic, you're going to be able to come to the launcher or the recorder. If you are in your original view, the start recorder will be the same feature. And when you come to that, this interface is going to be the same. So I will just tell you not to worry about if you've chosen that interface. Everything that I showed you is the same. The only difference is that your recorder button, let me cancel. Sorry, your recorder button is going to be here, your editor's here, and this install is the button that you need to do to install the launcher. If you're in the beta view, it's going to be those 3 buttons at the top of the screen, and it's the one that looks like a video camera and is called the launch recorder. And that, again, same thing. It's going to give you that same window it just did in the original view. And then record, choose your settings, choose the editor, or go right to YouTube, whatever service you want to do. And then the video, then you'll go over to whatever service, YouTube, come into ScreencastOMatic, and then you can play with the video afterwards once you've done recording. So that's all the basic steps. I know it's a lot. I try not to cover too much and go too into depth things, but I want to just show you all the options that are available, but knowing that you're most likely going to just put up a PowerPoint like I did, share it on the screen. I'm going to click the present button and share it and record that and walk over it. And I might have my head on there, I might not. And then when I'm done, I'm just going to save it and send it to wherever I want to store my recordings. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put up the thank you. So thank you for not watching, but thank you for being here. I appreciate you. This is an old slide because I don't have Marisha's name on it. But you can contact any of us. I'm going to go back and say, you really do want to contact any of the instructional designers. Email us at Digital Learning if you have any general questions. That way, if one of us is available, you don't have to worry about not catching one of us. We'll be able to help you out there. And then if there's any questions that you have, so we're going to stick around, and I'm going to shut my screen sharing off. This is for you to be able to ask any questions. Mary, Marisha can jump in. They can also give any feedback or advice as well. But I want you to also have time to be able to sit here and practice. So if you want to open up your window, sit here, come back in, turn your mics on now. Please feel free to do that. You can ask any questions. So this is kind of Q&A. If you want to ask specific things, we can also start a breakout room, and some people can go into the breakout room. So thank you all for coming. If you don't want to stay, you don't have to, but this is the time we'll be here for another hour for you to be able to, I'll be here for another hour and you'll be able to ask any questions, practice, come back in, do that kind of thing.
I would just like to add that, mostly just practice with ScreencastOMatic. You have to kind of play with it and work with it, and you'll get used to it real quickly. Carl, you had a question.
Yeah, I was just going to ask, based on which video file works best within Blackboard. Are we better off exporting a Zoom file as an MP4? Or, I mean, obviously ScreencastOMatic is how you customize your videos and highlight certain areas, but then you're exporting it, into a YouTube channel. So should we be looking at a YouTube channel link within our Blackboard, or should we just kind of simplify things with MP4s from a Zoom? And again, I'm using it from my own standpoint where I've got 10 weeks worth of Zoom videos that I shared last semester with my guys that I was going to export it as MP4s, but it sounds like I really should be exporting them into the YouTube channel and then taking those YouTube links and then putting them in Blackboard. And if I'm way off, please tell me. I'm still new at this. So.
Yes, that's exactly it. We don't really want you, again, Blackboard can't handle and really shouldn't have, for size limitation issues and also just for playback issues, you really should be choosing another service, whether it's YouTube or ScreencastOMatic, or if you want to put your videos elsewhere, you could go ahead and use another service and then either use what we call embed codes, which allow you to put them in the screen, or you can go ahead and just put the links and use a link feature. If you want, I can go ahead and show you how to actually inside of Blackboard embed and do a link if that would be helpful.
It's up to you guys. I guess my thing, if somebody could just throw in, I've already got my ScreencastOMatic account from Dan. How do I get the YouTube account?
You have a YouTube account with your email, your stick email.
Okay.
If you want, Kyle could put us in a breakout room and I could show you how to do that.
Yeah, whatever's easiest for everybody. I don't want to consume everyone's time, but that was the big question I had.
Sure,
Yeah,
I'd be happy to do that.
If people want to set up their YouTube account and go with Mary, then they can go ahead and do this. I'll stay here if you want any ScreencastOMatic questions, or if you want to know how to embed videos, it's kind of up to you. What are people's general consensus?
Both.
Okay, so why don't we stay here? Because if it sounds like some people want to know, Mary, do you want to go ahead and share? I'll give you permission to share, and you can walk through setting up.
I'm trying to think about my YouTube account.
So I've given you permission to share, Mary, so you can do.
Okay, let me go over here. You should be seeing my alternate account. So let's see here.
We're seeing your email right now, Mary.
Email, yeah. Hang on a second here. Let me get some things out of my way that you're not seeing. So Carl, you want to be sure that you're in your stick email account.
Which I am.
And then you go into the 9 little dots.
The
and
waffle.
the YouTube account is right there. You might have to scroll down to find it, but it's right there. Once
And
you
Mary, do you want to show how to create a channel?
Because a playlist. I'll show you how to. I like to use playlists, but so once you get here, the most important thing I think, because I know many of you have multiple Gmail accounts, I always, once I get here, I try to double check. I look up here and just be sure that I'm in my stick account. Okay. Still with me, Carl? Then you have a create your YouTube or your video. You can just click on upload. And then I would just drag and drop a video onto there. So I made a quick explainer video for a faculty. So I just dragged and dropped something on there.
Yep.
Okay. And now this is the fussy part. Go ahead. You have a question?
So I was just going to ask, can I drag and drop my Zooms from there, or should I export the Zooms as MP4s first?
Well, that was where Kyle showed you. You have the option once you've created your ScreencastOMatic. Personally, I like to have the control over it. So I save my videos as an MP4 onto my desktop. So from
So you have them in
Mary, I think Carl was asking about a Zoom. So Carl, If your Zoom was initially saved to your local computer, you can upload it directly. If it was saved to the cloud, you would need to download it from Zoom's cloud to your computer and then upload it to YouTube.
But
Perfect.
you want an MP4 file. So what I just dragged in there was an MP4.
Got it.
All right, so then you can change your title. You can add a description. The video is uploading. This is what Kyle just walked you through. The thumbnails are still processing and they're still generating. Here's the playlist. What I like to do personally for me is I like to create a playlist. What makes sense for you? You might want a playlist for each course. You might want a playlist for modules, depending on how many, videos you're making. Or you might want it by whatever makes sense for you in the organization. So I make playlists, and you can create a new one, make a title. One of the most important things that I like to recommend is that these are unlisted. That means that you have control over who they're shared with. And I recommend you have everything as unlisted. I'm not going to put this into a playlist because I'm not going to really hang on to it, but you would just click that playlist. Actually, I'll put it right there. Click the playlist, click done. Then you need to answer a few more questions. Your videos are not made for children. So you want to always click no, not made for kids. More options is important. You click this one open. You're not doing any endorsements or payments, so you just leave that alone. You can add tags if you'd like to, but I don't think that's really necessary because you've got this locked down into a environment in Blackboard that you're only sharing with you and your students. So you don't really need to have tags because you're not sorting these out. You're not having this available in all the Google world. So I would just leave that blank. Subtitles and closed captions is important. You'll want to choose English, United States as your option. And then under caption certification, the content has never aired on television in the United States. Mine pre-populate to that because I've been using them so many times. You can add the recording date if you'd like to. Your videos will all be, once you get them up into YouTube, they will be dated. You have a standard YouTube license. You're not doing any kind of Creative Commons unless you are, and then you could change that. I would allow embedding. And then if you want to publish and subscribing for fees, you can leave that open. I generally take that one off, but that's your choice. Subscription feeds would be if you have people subscribing to your channels, but again, I don't think that's an option you're probably doing because these are educational videos. A lot of mine are explainer videos or lectures. Under category, you're going to want to choose education. And for whatever reason, these are not in alphabetical order. So education's down here. Under comments and ratings, I disable comments. I don't want people commenting on my videos. Some people might, that's your option, but I would disable the comments and I would not allow the thumbs up or thumbs down. Just take that off. Once you finish there, you click next. You don't have to do anything on the video elements. You can go with all of the pre-populated options here. And then next, most important, you want unlisted. Again, this is because you're sharing this only with your students and only with the people who have the links. It's not going to be shared with the entire universe. And then I usually let it go right away. I don't put a scheduled date or time. Click save, and now it's finishing uploading. This one did not take long. So now you've got your link there. You can close it. Let's see if we have the embed code. Okay, you can close that. And then it falls right here. Here's my video. You can see it's unlisted. I can go back in and edit something if I want to inside of YouTube. Like I can change the thumbnail, the cover image when you first open the video. I can visit the video here. And then if you want to share it, you can share it down here by getting the embed code. If you share the link, students inside of Blackboard are going to have to click and they're going to jump out to YouTube. Not that bad an option, but we like to recommend that you embed it in Blackboard. So you grab the embed code. Here, the iframe. Copy that. You'll go over to Blackboard. Oh, hang on a second. Does that answer all your questions so far while I find a course to pop this into?
Yeah, I mean, at least it gives me a guide. Let's face it, I'm taking notes, copious notes, that is.
There's in the link inside of the chat, it's got a step-by-step illustrated instructions.
Got it. So I'll just refer back to the video if I need it.
Just refer back to that.
I've got a couple more videos I need to make. So I'm going to make them with ScreencastOMatic and export them into the YouTube channel. So that's probably my best bet.
We can always jump on and do this. It's not that difficult. It's just if you don't do it often enough, you tend to forget.
Yeah,
Now I'm in just to create an item. Anywhere where you have a content editor, you go to
Correct.
the HTML button. Remember that is that WYSIWYG that's down here.
Yep.
You should see a pop-up HTML code. I copy that iframe code in and I can update and click submit. Oh, I got to put a name on. My bad. And then it's at the bottom here. And now students can just watch it right here in Blackboard.
Right in Blackboard. Got it.
Right.
But
I
it's
wanted
gotta
to
be
show you one other thing that you may or may not all know about. I know Marisha knows.
And I just also want to make a really quick pause because we already have accounts established. If
Right.
you have never used your YouTube account, you will not be able to upload it. It's going to make you go through a series of menus that will tell you to activate your account. And that video does cover that, but just to be aware of, this is what you get to do once you've activated your account, but you have to do that first and go through those steps, and then you'll have all of those options Mary shared you.
Right. And then back on this link where it's the YouTube, it's in the chat. Right here is follow these step-by-step instructions. It's what I just took you through. It's coming up here in a second. I think I have too many windows open. But
Either that, you're going to have to school buy you a faster computer, right?
No, this would be internet.
This would be internet. But the instructions are right there. I'm not going to take your time up. And then for increasing your YouTube storage, there's step-by-step instructions here as well.
Gotcha.
So that's all there. I wanted to show you one thing, and let's see. This one, I'm trying to find. I believe that you are aware of. Sorry, I'm just trying to find a YouTube video where I could show you some. I wanted to show you where you could find some transcripts that fall inside of videos, if you wanted those, if they do appear. Well, let's not go to that.
Are you talking about like the text transcripts from your video?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Like Zoom does?
yeah.
Got it.
Transcripts. Oftentimes they're found under videos. I just
Okay.
don't have one at the moment, but. So that's how to do an upload. It's pretty quick. Again, you just need to do it a few times. You need to practice.
Yeah, yeah. Yep.
Any other questions while we're all here? Paula, you're thinking of using it? I know Mary Ann's she's been using her iPad. We've been working on doing mathematics. So Katie, I forgot what your subject matter is.
I've made plenty of videos each week. My problem is I put them in Blackboard because if I put them on YouTube and it has to go out, the students don't go to
Right.
the next step.
Right.
And now to embed it, I'm getting messed up on embedding. So
Okay.
I've got to make some new ones because obviously I make them each week. So it's pertinent to what's happening each week.
That's great.
So
That's great.
I couldn't make them ahead and I delete them all because it's different places, different things. But going to YouTube and if they have to go out to YouTube, they're not going to go.
Yeah. You want them to have the least number of clicks.
Correct.
So you can keep them right there in Blackboard.
But is there a way, if you make it on Screencast-O-Matic, to go right and load it into Blackboard without having to go to YouTube?
No, because remember Kyle was saying, Blackboard is a learning management system, not a storage video system.
But
YouTube is
that's where their whole academic profile is, you know, like what they're expected to do that week.
that's
or
why
that-
you're
those
going to
projects.
embed the videos.
So Katie, I just checked, you can actually grab an embed code from Screencast-O-Matic as well. So if you store it on
You
Screencast.
still have to embed it, but if you want to,
So you still need to embed, yeah. But
Right.
embedding is a good way to have it in Blackboard without Blackboard having to take the weight of holding all that
Right.
file storage. And so and
Okay.
you can embed either from Screencast-O-Matic or from YouTube. So if you
as
create
long as you have the embed code. I don't know if you have that available, Marisha, to show, but I could show you again
Yeah.
from YouTube if you want.
do you want me to share my Screencast-O-Matic screen?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
that'd
I
be
would like
great.
to see that. Yes.
Sure.
And I only use the YouTube workflow because I'm used to it and that's fast for me. But you need to come up with whatever process is fastest for you.
Mm,
Okay, so you see my Screencast-O-Matic window, right?
Yes.
So these are the videos that I currently have on my Screencast-O-Matic cloud. So when you create something in Screencast-O-Matic, you have the option to save it to the cloud or save it to your computer. So then so I can hover over any of these recordings. And then if I click on the 3 dots in the upper right of any of the recordings, then I can go to share. And if I go to share, here's that embed code.
Ah.
Awesome.
Do you want me to go into Blackboard and show you what to do with the embed code? Okay, so right now I'm just going to right click on that and click copy. So now I have that embed code copied.
And
And then,
also both YouTube and them, there's a button that says copy code. So if you don't want to mess with like shifts and, command,
Yep.
whatever, there's actually a button that will just
Copy
do
code.
Yeah.
yeah, thanks, Kyle. Yep, it's right there. So I can also just click on that. And then if I go to Blackboard, so I'm just going to go into my sandbox course. And so then if I want, I can just, let's say I want to create an item. So you can put an embedded video anywhere where you have this text box editor. So you can put it into an assignment description, into an item, into a discussion forum,
An
anywhere
announcement.
this space. So what you do is once you have the code, what you need to do is you need to click on the HTML button. If you don't see 3 rows of buttons, so if your text box editor looks like this with just 1 row of buttons, the expand is all the way on the right-hand side. When you hover over it, it says show more. If you click on that, you get 3 full rows of buttons. And the last one in the the second to last one in the 3rd row is HTML. So that's what you want. You need to get to that HTML button. When you click on HTML, you get a pop-up. Do you see the pop-up on my? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Shared with you. Okay. So once you get the pop-up, you just do a paste. So you can do right-click paste, or you can do a Control V or Command V, depending if you're on a Mac or a PC. So that pastes that embed code. So you just want to take the whole embed code, you don't need to mess with it, and just paste it into HTML view and then click update. That gives you this big yellow box. That's where your video is going to end up. If you want, you can always add text above or below that to tell your students about the video, what about the video is important, etc. And then you just click submit. And so now you have it. So here's that item and here's the video, and it comes with all the playback controls. So I can click play, I can change the speed of the playback, the volume, etc. And so students would watch it right in Blackboard without having to go out to YouTube, which I think, Katie, is what you were saying.
Yes, definitely.
They lose their attention when they go out to.
Too many things.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Thank you so much.
That's great. Thank you.
That's
That's what I came here for.
Yeah.
Well, that was pretty
didn't
easy.
think of that.
Practice with both and see which one's easier for you.
Mary, do you want to show it on the YouTube side, or I can get into my YouTube channel and show it?
I can show on the YouTube side if anybody wants to see it again. Katie, do you want to see it on YouTube from YouTube?
No, I'm going with this one for right now.
Okay. And remember,
Only
any
because-
YouTube you find out there, you can grab the embed code.
Right. So with YouTube, it doesn't have to be just
It
videos.
doesn't have to be your YouTube.
Right, right.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I know that. I've done those,
Yeah.
but I think Scott told me I was chewing up sticks,
Bandwidth.
data or whatever.
Storage.
Right. So if you're putting the whole MP3 into Blackboard, that's a no-no.
Now you
Learning.
know. That's great.
Wait, what's the saying? Ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Right.
But now you know the
Well,
right.
you don't want it to
But
break.
now I can't use that.
Katie, how long are your videos?
Couple minutes.
Me too.
I've never gone over 4 or 5, I think. It's
Yay.
just this week. This is a project. This is what we're working on.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
some that are 6.
That's
Uh,
good.
is that
5
okay?
to 7 is the sweet spot. 5
Okay.
to 7
Yeah, I
minutes.
have a couple that are 6. I don't think I have anything more than 6.
That's perfect. There's
Yeah.
studies that show that attention spans peaks at 6 minutes.
So let me ask you, like in my particular case with, I'm gonna take my side, which is more the tutorial side or software tutorials, kind of MIDI ones I'm writing. My longest one was about 45 minutes, and I found that was long. So I'm
Pick it
trying to stick to the 20 to 30 minute range. And again, basically, I'm drawing stuff on the screen for them using the software, and I want to be able to highlight certain parts of it because the screen is so complex when it comes to the real estate part of it. So that's really why I want to use the ScreencastOMatic. But my videos are like 20 to 30 minutes long at least. And like I said, I got one that's 50 that I tried cutting down to it was like 60, but I cut it down to 50. But is that going to be a problem if I have,
I would recommend you break it down into multiple videos. So you would have 6 videos of 8 minutes each, or 8 videos of 6 minutes each.
Yeah, I usually say like 15 minutes absolute max, but
Yeah.
ideally under 10.
Okay. And the only reason why I ask, because I found more success with the class as the class went on when I went to 30-minute sessions, because they would go and kind of stop the video, try to catch up, and then hit play again so they'd be able to keep going. So that's the only reason why I ask. And again, from my point of view, it's more about planning. I've got like 8 or 10 weeks worth of videos that I'd like to continue to use because that's when I got the most results from the kids in the class. But I need to tweak 4 or 5 or add 4 or 5 onto them. But you should, so you're saying stay under 20 minutes, and if I can get it down to 15 at the back?
Ideally, yeah.
Yes.
And if you can have, and like with software, if you can alternate a video with a practice.
Mhm.
So like you have the video that explains a concept, and then you have something that the students do in the software where they try out a skill, and then they come back and then they do the next skill. So you were saying that they pause and
Break it down
rewind
into
and
chunks.
rewatch. So kind of like if you identify those spots where students would naturally be pausing and trying something out, and instead of continuing and having the students pause and then find the spot again, you're making the cut, having that chunk of video that the students watch, and then have something where they can apply the knowledge that they've gained.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
the kids that kind of responded back to me said that they loved having the ability to hit stop in the video throughout and then just keep playing, so they didn't really care how long it was. I was concerned because it took so long to record and then send back to them. So that was my problem.
Well, and if you're embedding and all of those videos are embedded in the same space in Blackboard, then the students will still be able to, they'll watch one video, and then, if they're ready to keep going, they can just go right to the next video. But if somebody then needs to stop and go do something else, they know that they watched video 1 and 2, but they need to come back to video 3. They don't need to like write down the minute where they stopped so that they can find the spot.
Okay. Sounds good.
I'm also just going to say a lot of times people get really focused on the minutes, and it's about the actual, when you're recording a video, what are you recording that encompasses something? Do you have an introduction? Do you have the piece to it? And do you have a conclusive piece to it? So if you're cutting videos for 5 minutes, but they don't have a transition or an understanding. I once went to a workshop and it was talking about making videos for people with Asperger's and people on the spectrum. And it actually said that short format videos, if they don't have context, people with, Asperger's and on the spectrum, if they don't have the beginning and honor and a concept, 2-minute videos mean nothing to them, and it actually causes more anxiety. So it's really important to be like, if I'm making my tutorial videos, that I cover them in context. So like a lot of times I will record this session and I sit there and watch it and then cut it, break it up. And so I record 45 minutes, but then I find where my transitions happen, or I try to record them with them. But I'm sometimes recording a 45-minute video and I'm just pausing where I know I'm going to do the break of the video. And then I might just copy that video and break it up or make transitions up. I think that's the other piece, because the one thing that someone gave me some advice at was to remember that a lot of our statistics around attention span come from social media research. And so we do have to be aware of that social media does not necessarily care about educational content and explaining concepts. It's usually about consumption. So we want to make sure that if we're doing kind of tutorial videos, we are doing something where I'm introducing something, and by the time they finish their video, they've got something concrete that they learned, and it's not ended in like not well. The students understand it. And exactly what Marisha said, if you can do it where it's like, we're going to do the first part of this 4-part activity, and I'm going to have you stop, go do it, practice it, come back if you need to watch the video again. But if you have, go to part 2, go to part 3. I think that makes for more a contextual experience for people.
I agree that I think that was helpful when I did the first 2 videos of one of my classes. I broke it up into 2 about 5 minutes. Well, maybe they were 6 minutes, but it was better.
But I
Mary Ann's
also
gonna
started
play
a
with the little
video. In
pencil.
this video, we will be doing,
Yeah.
so that they have an agenda for this video. And then I write out a script, because otherwise I'd be all over the place.
That's a very good practice, Katie, to make a script.
Other questions, thoughts?
You already go make videos?
Actually doing my outline for a couple of them right now. So yeah.
Yay.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate your time today, guys. Great job again, as always.
Thank you.
Thank you. Keep working on those, Mary Ann.
Bye, everyone.
All right, see you. All right, good job. I don't know what was going on with your mic.
I don't either. I've been talking on it all day.
Maybe that's it. Your just voice is tired, but
Maybe.
I don't know. And did TJ get his COVID test back?
No, we don't know when he's going to get it. He had it on Monday, Tuesday.
Where'd he get it?
Holyoke.
HCC?
Yeah. 2.5 hours.
He had to wait 2.5 hours?
Oh yeah. If you have to get one, just be aware you're going to sit for at least between 2.5 and 3 hours. And he got there at, it opens at, I think it opens at 2. He got there at 1:20 and it was already backed up. He said that like it was already backed up. So you have to drive in through campus. He said he was already closer to the exit. So yeah, because if he goes positive, then Chad and I have to be tested.
Right,
So,
right. And what's Chad gonna do? Does he get unemployment?
Yes.
Oh, good.
He's learning all that stuff. He got a severance. If he had not taken this, he would have been laid off, or
Right.
he could have been laid off.
Yeah.
And the severance package was going to be worth more than the layoff package. So if somebody hates what they're doing, they might as well.
Hey, he's got skills. He can
So
he'll definitely get by.
Yeah,
He'll be fine.
I am now the lone person working here. They're just hanging out. So Always
Well, that
good
was a good session. I was doing a lot of chatting with Marianne and Paula and Carl on the side here of
Okay, yeah.
little bits and pieces questions. Marianne's like, "Oh my God, I don't see the pencil. I don't see the edit." And I said, "What? Did you get your account?" "No, I got my account in 2012." And I said, "I don't think you have a stick account. Just saying." So we'll see.
Yeah, and I see, and I wish all my personal accounts have some form, like I have my paid account. I mean, I can go and see if my personal account still has it, but I'm like, I can't remember what we do and don't have. And
I
they're
know,
really-
it's like
that's-
it's too much. And then let me just show you real quick. Do you have 1 second?
Yeah.
So let's see if I go over here. If you're seeing so when I go up here, is this